Hello and welcome again to Immigration News and Views. My name is David Nachman. I'm one of the managing attorneys at the NPZ Law Group, the Nachman Fulwani Zimochek Law Group. And we have offices in New Jersey, Ridgewood, New Jersey, in Midtown Manhattan, and we also have affiliated offices in Canada, and we also have an affiliated office in India. And so I have a couple of announcements to make. One, of course, for those of you who are eagerly awaiting information from the USCIS with regard to the H-1B cap. On April 7th, we received a release that came out of the USCIS that they have reached the number of quota cases. So 65,000 quota for bachelor's or its U.S. equivalent, and 20,000 for U.S. master's degree was in fact reached, and reached very quickly. So what's going to happen now, of course, and this is the question that we're receiving from our clients and prospective clients by email, is what happens now? So actually, for those of you who have been on the web, we actually, our firm has put together a very concise report about how the random selection or lottery process takes place. The article is called March Madness, referring of course to the submission of the H-1Bs to the USCIS, brings about H-1B sadness. So what we're referring to there is the possibility that some of you who have in fact submitted H-1Bs will not necessarily be chosen in this random lottery, and we're still again waiting to hear what the exact date is that the random lottery is going to take place and how it's going to shake out. The last information that we have is that they were saying something around April 20th, and that came out in a release where there was an indication by the USCIS that premium processing was going to be backed up, because generally, as many of you know, if you've premium processed your case, you're asking for a 14-day turnaround by the USCIS, and USCIS went ahead and indicated that they would not be able to adjudicate the cases within the 14 days, but they were making an exception to that normal rule by backing up that 14-day period to commence on or about April 20th of 2014. So for those of you who are waiting eagerly to hear from the USCIS with regard to your petitions, unfortunately we have no news as of today, April 11th, as to what the situation is at the USCIS, but as soon as we have that information, we will of course quickly disseminate that information to you by way of a video, and also by way of e-blasts or on our social media sites. So we of course invite you to stay tuned. Now just quickly, so that everybody understands how the random selection process is going to work, is that when the USCIS reaches the number of quota cases, which in fact it has announced that it has, then of course they cut off the receipt of those H-1Bs, which in fact has done, and then what they're going to do is they're going to do a random selection process on the master's 20,000 quota, and then anything that is left over that has been that doesn't go toward that random selection process in the 20,000 will then spill over into the 60,000. 65,000, and then a random selection process will be conducted on the 65,000. So for those of you who will possibly be receiving back through the mail your previously filed H-1B petitions, of course we stand ready, willing, and able to assist you with regard to some of your H-1B options. And of course, we've mentioned in videos before what those options are, but I just want to go through a couple of them with you now. One, of course, is to consider the possibility of a cap-exempt employer. Another one is to look at other non-immigrant visa alternatives, such as the O1 as a possibility, maybe the P visa classification, and there might be others. And so each analysis, of course, for H-1B alternatives is going to depend upon your particular background. So we're going to have to go through and analyze what particular options might be able to apply to your case. Also, by way of an announcement, just quickly, I wanted to remind everyone that beginning in early May, the naturalization form, there's going to be a new N400 naturalization form. It's unfortunately about double the number of pages that the current N400 naturalization form is. That is coming up, so for those of you who haven't already submitted your naturalization application on the N400, please try to do so before it becomes a more cumbersome form. We are given to understand that it's not going to affect the process, but the form is going to be longer. We also wanted to take an opportunity to announce our new New York office location, which is now at 108 West 39th Street on the 8th floor. For those of you who need to meet us, of course, in our Midtown Manhattan office, please give a call to 201-670-0006, extension 107, and our receptionist will set you up for a meeting in our New York office. Thanks very much for tuning in, and again, as soon as we have some additional information on the H-1B non-immigrant visa processing for the 2015 fiscal year, we will bring that information to you. Thanks very much for tuning in. Bye for now.